We are live from Chicago, Illinois, here at the Wintrust Arena for NBA G League Elite Camp, day number 1. We'll have Team 1 and Team 2 tipping things off here soon. Dirk alongside Mark Shanowski. And Mark, going to be an exciting time over these next couple days. Give us the rundown of what the people can expect here. Jump right into it. The highlight here for the away side, Dwayne Washington Jr. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we've got 4 teams of 10 players each. It's going to be Team 1 against Team 2 in the first game. Team 2, the visitors. Dwayne Washington, his dad, Dwayne Washington Sr., played in the league. He also played overseas. Dwayne Washington was actually born in Frankfurt, Germany, and he's the nephew of the 5-time NBA champion Derek Fisher. He actually lived with Derek for a while and trained with him. Had a good year for the Ohio State Buckeyes, 3rd team All-Big Ten, averaged 16.5 points, about 3 assists per game. Maybe not the most explosive athlete in the world, but he's very crafty with the ball, has a good chance to make an NBA roster as a backup point guard.
Talk about some mentorship right there with the Derek Fisher hit. And of course, the man on the other side that literally needs no introduction in the city of Chicago, Scotty Pippen Jr.
Yes, we are here in the city of Chicago at Wintrust Arena, and people know that name, Scotty Pippen, the 6-time champion with the Chicago Bulls. His son had a great year at Vanderbilt. His sophomore season averaged about 21 points a game, was 1st team All-SEC. Very interesting athlete, a good scorer, and I think he's going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of attention from the scouts and executives in attendance this weekend.
Of course, you said there's going to be 4 teams, so let's go ahead and check out the starting lineups from both these teams that we're going to see here, Team 1 and Team 2. First off, let's just read off. Scotty Pippen Jr. at guard, Aaron Wiggins at the 2. At the 3, got MJ Walker, Orlando Robinson Jr. at the 4, and EJ Liddell at center.
Yeah, there's a pretty heavy Big Ten flavor on Team 1. You see Liddell from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Aaron Wiggins played at Maryland. They also have Hunter Dickinson, the center from Michigan. So a lot of names that people are familiar with in Big Ten country here in Chicago. And I don't know who drafted these teams, but I think whoever had Team 1 really loaded up. They've got a lot of the star power on that team.
Of course, we talked about Scotty Pippen Jr. A lot to say about him. A man, again, we said needs no introduction. And time for him to show out here.
I tell you what, when your dad's a Hall of Fame player, there's a lot of pressure on you. And he went to Vanderbilt, not one of the premier schools in the Southeastern Conference, but he really stood out. As I mentioned, averaged about 21 points a game. He will be in the spotlight today. I'm sure he wants to show well and get an invitation to the formal combine, which starts in a couple of days.
Here we go. We got the tip-off here of our first game of day 1 of the G League Elite Camp. Time to see what they got. Shout out to everybody out there. Lots of Twitch polls are going to be going up. And of course, we're going to have a player ISO poll coming up in the 2nd quarter. So make sure you keep an eye on that. We'll have a camera following around whoever wins. And hey, would it be any other way to start G League Elite Camp with a 3?
That's the shots up there.
Hey, there's people in the chat already commenting how aggressive he's playing earlier, saying going aggro, using the gaming terms.
Javonte Smart there with the layup, and yeah, Team 2 looked at the odds and
so we were going through and just looking at accolades, whether you factor in the stats too. Team 1's just heavy stack. I mean, even when you're talking about some of the personalities, right, the bigger names looking at this team number 1.
MJ Walker knocking down the 3 guards, 6'5", 213 pounds, doing some work on the defensive end.
Roll gets his turnover, tried to throw the lob up there as team number 1 looking to move, and that's an and 1.
Nice job for them. He averaged 14.5 points, about 6 rebounds a game, and he is an explosive athlete. Now, he's one of those guys. There's Walker for 3. Nice job there. Even though this is a team game, there's a lot of individual pride and individual future on stake here. So, nice take there. It's the layup and a foul. Good strength going to the rim, puts his head down there. And there's the young man from China, Guo, got shown up a little bit, not being able to handle the
out there in the Twitch world. I'm a video game guy, but I got to go with McClung. I love the bounce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had the best vertical in the testing that they did beforehand. A 43-inch. As you recall, they lost to UCLA in the Elite 8 round in the regional championship game. Nice move there by Dickinson. People are probably pretty familiar with his story. Started out at Georgetown and then transferred to Texas Tech. Was productive there as Hunter Dickinson gets the ball inside. He gets the bucket and a foul. There's another Michigan kid.
We got somebody in the chat asking any noticeable names coming out of the G League Elite Camp playing the NBA today, as a nice little scoop goes in. And we've been talking about Terrence Mann quite a bit with his performance for the Clippers in Game 7.
That was one of the great stories. For him to score 39 points, not really known as a scorer in the league, but for him to have that game in that spotlight, I was even marveling at what he was able to do. And it just goes to show you players can improve as Chaundee Brown gets the roll on the three-point shot. Now turnover here, Washington in transition. McClung trying to take the charge, and he got it. One of those block charge calls could have gone either. Generally get where he wants to go, but McClung does a good job moving his feet, gets in that defensive position, and draws the charge. So that's the kind of thing scouts will notice too, the fact that you're willing to
see people in the crowd. There's no spectators, but GMs and scouts. Yeah. Has that much pressure that you were just talking about.
Good attendance in terms of the quality of observer here. Scotty Pippen knocking down the field.
And there you see aggressiveness coming out there from Washington Jr.
Yeah, nice to see him get on the board. Nice strong take, finishing with the left hand. And then he gets beat on defense backdoor. Scotty Pippen Jr. gets the layup, and it's something that teams will evaluate very closely. But in terms of this format, I think that, you know, they'll get a chance to do the interviews down the road.
Shot's going to be off.
There's McClung trying to show off that vertical leap. Switches hands, the left-handed reverse layup, and a foul. Able to use that vertical leap to get to the other side of the rim, avoid the shot blocker, use the offhand, get the layup. That is some impressive stuff there. And that's the thing that he wowed a lot of fans when he played both at Georgetown and Texas Tech because of plays like this. He had hit some game-winning shots during his career. A very impressive
block there by Dickinson.
Yeah, Dickinson doing a nice job of protecting the rim. Now McClung trying to show off his three-point shot, but it's blocked.
What a way to get back for Alvarado.
Yeah, Alvarado a lot faster with the elite athletes, and McClung took a little bit of time loading up that three-point shot, and then he looks a little bit slow, Dickinson. Looks a little robotic, and I think that's one of the feedbacks he's going to get from the scouts is, you know, work hard on your lateral quickness and try to become you try to avoid it, but it always seems to bite you. There's Dickinson setting the screen way out high for his Michigan teammate. Little Wolverine high screen and roll. And Mike Smith.
The big man down low, trying to work out the give and go. That's going to be taken away.
Yeah, nice idea, but bad execution on the pass. And fast break the other way. Javante Smart is having here for Fred Hoiberg.
And he's also got duct tape on the back of the jersey.
You know, whatever it takes, you want to make sure that when the scouts are jotting down notes, that they get the right name. Javante Smart is having a nice first half.
A floater game.
Yeah, goes strong to the basket, gets that one to fall. And then McClung's a good guy to watch.
So Dickinson, low block. Drop step move, up with the left hand and good.
Yeah, very solid fundamental move. One of the soft baby hook.
McClung being aggressive once more. Attacking the basket and up and with the left.
Very good explosiveness, very quick going to his offhand, got the finish off glass, and then McClung showing the explosiveness, the blow by, gets the left-handed lay-in. I'll tell you what, when you can finish with that offhand, it makes you so much. Yeah, Walker coming up short from three-point land. That corner three is the shot that NBA teams love because it's the shortest distance and the most efficient. Is Dwayne Washington knocks down the wing three on the other end. He's do with different skill levels. And let's take a look at the action. Kick out to the corner. Washington knocks down the three ball. Drive and kick, that's an important staple of any NBA offense. Of the DePaul Blue Demons and the Chicago Sky at the WNBA. It's a really nice facility. It's only been open for a few years, but a really nice environment for Washington. He's more of a post player during his college career. He needs to show the scouts that he can shoot from distance, and he was able to knock down that corner shot, which will be important for him as he's being evaluated over these next few days.
Dickinson.
Little lob pass in there, and that's better. Onu takes the lob and attack the rim as well to be able to shoot from distance.
White and knocked out again. You can see the intensity. It's the late game's going on right. You want to go out in the lead with team number 2, and you can see it right here. Derek White trying to work out in the pick and roll, ball knocked out, and I believe it hit him on his leg, and that's what ended up going out. You can see the intensity.
Yeah, team 2 knows they're big.
Smart's had a big game. As Onu from downtown, he knocks it in.
There you go. Got off to a slow start, but now he's starting to feel. There you go. Good execution there. McClung couldn't get the reverse win games here, and obviously looking ahead to seeing some more athletes on the court. As the defensive intensity really picked up, a 3-on-0 break. That leads to a dunk for Derek Alston Jr.
And for team number 1, as Wiggins is stopped. Pippen Jr. for 3. That's good.
Good recognition there by Wiggins. Saw that he had nothing
just to go along with it too. Go with Guo. One-on-one action. Drives on Alston Jr. Puts it up, and that's good for Guo.
He's looked good. I've been
coming in from the chat. How tall is Scotty Pippen Jr.? We have him listed as 6'1".
Nice shot there.
With McClung, we said he won the poll of people that wanted to see him get interviewed after the game. Tries to throw the lob there to Robinson Jr. and collapse coming down low. That's going to be a block. I believe that's from
scrappy in this game. Alvarado directing the half-court offense to Brown, and he's able to finish between 2 defenders. Get the finish. Now pick and roll to Cisse. He tries to go up for the big jam, but he's rejected at the summit. Big block there. Comes up and makes the big block.
Oh, he was trying to make a poster here in Chicago. That's what he was going for. Go to the line and shoot 2, though.
Liddell has given up about 4 or 5 inches in this confrontation. I'm not sure there was a foul there. Maybe a little bit of body contact 1 year there. Not sure again if he's going to stay in the draft or try to go back another year. And we talked about that vertical jump. McClung, the high riser, showing off that 40.
Nice cut here by him and White.
Mike Smith with a nice pass. Beautiful alley-oop, and McClung. Mistakes like that, but it's just guys trying to do the most they can on the offensive end. Sometimes that will lead to turnovers, but, you know, McClung averaged 15 points for Texas Tech this year, even though he's only 6'3". You know, he's a guy that's going to have to prove that he can be a combo guard, can run the offense in a pinch, but he's going to get most of his points as he tries to chase down the block, but he's not able to catch up to Alvarado, who gets the lay-in.
From Banton, which led to an Alvarado layup, and then down on the other end got a steal and then another lay-in. So those are the only scores that he's had in the game, but in the 4th quarter we need him most as Washington Jr. fires away and he cashes in. We saw from Team 2 that led to him on this run, and we're talking about Washington Jr. He had that hot streak earlier in towards the game and looking to try to continue it here in the 4th.
Yeah, that time there were double screens set by the 2 guys, a little horns action. He was, instead of trying to split that, he went around both screens and found some open space as McClung went with the big man on the switch, and he knocked down the 18-foot jumper. So good recognition there by Washington. You know, he's already committed to hiring an agent, so he does not have the opportunity to go back to the U of I.
See Pippen Jr. finds himself down low, tries to get the kick out, and big collision coming through there. This is on Jones, and right back the other way, and that's going to be a nice lane there.
Everybody kind of stopped because the 24th
fake. Ball knocked loose again. Liddell decides to take it down the inside end. That's going to be knocked loose. Ball saved. Washington Jr. wants to run. Stops. Pop for 3 and
no
good. Homer, was that Homer you again? No. I was about to say, I thought it was him again.
Break opportunity. And a nice finish there by Chaundi Brown.
1:35 to go. As shot goes up, and that's going to be buckets again.
Aaron Wiggins knocks down the 3.
Smith all over Jones. Jones attacking down the inside. That's a one-legged fadeaway a la Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, it's your Dirk move. It's a good thing. Here's the step back that we told you about. The one-legged shot. Nice job by Devontae Jones.
Yeah, it scares me when guys like Kevin Durant
chance to win the game.
Mira Jones, Pippen Jr. on him. Doing a good job getting inside.
Oh, nice shot there by Devontae. 3-35, and that's been a big factor in the game.
Second free throw is going to miss, and it's going to be all she wrote. Team 2 gets the first victory here of this 2-day swing, 80-74.
Yeah, some of the guys we talked about in the open. We talked about Scotty Pippen Jr. for Team 1. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Dwayne Washington Jr., who we also featured in our open, he had 13 points, a couple of boards, and a couple of assists. But it was the scoring balance of Team 2 that got